Hello everyone, my name is Balakrishna. Welcome to my YouTube channel Balajan AI Telugu and then Facebook channels. Today I am going to discuss about Google Dialogflow CX. What is the full form of CX? Customer experience. Now why we are using the Google Dialogflow CX? Where we are using the Dialogflow CX? And then how we will use in Dialogflow CX? What is the importance of Dialogflow CX? I will explain clearly in detail in this video. In the next upcoming videos, I will give the demonstration on creating Google Flow Dialogs CX in Google Cloud Platform Dialogflow CX environment. Now, what is Dialogflow CX? What is the importance of Dialog CX? Dialogflow CX is nothing but a customer experience is Google Cloud's advanced conversational AI platform. Conversational means talking to each other. Conversational means talking to each other. Like bot to bot communication or agent to agent communication or application to app or bot to user. User means human. Like that only we need to establish the conversation between two persons using Google Cloud Dialogflow customer experience, a platform for building enterprise grade like chatbots and voicebots. Now in the chatbots we need to send or we need to communicate with only chats. Suppose now we are moving forward from the chatbots, we will create any voicebots. Voicebots is nothing but the human is conversation with bots like a human. The communication is now effectively communication between bot to the human, while when we are conversation starts with bot to human like voice. Now it is the next generation Dialogflow CS. In old and new old version is called ES. Now DFCS6 is the advanced version than the ES, offering visual flow, design, state management, and multi-turn conversation control, ideal for complex, large-scale virtual agents. I will explain clearly in detail in Google Flow Dialog CX. Now, this is roadmap for creating all entire organizations, all entire enterprises are migrating to the voice bots agents. These are the bots will help to communicate with user effectively, like with talking in conversation with voice. Then only effectively conversation happen between bot and human, or bot to bot or bot to application. Like that only, suppose in banking sectors, oil sectors, as well as retail sector, supply chain sectors, as medical sectors, or whatever the domain, they have to create it, they want to build any voice agents, their applications or their organizations. Now I have created one roadmap for Dialogflow CX for learning roadmap. Now beginners, now I have after that I have created the virtual banking bot on online store assistant, or some medical assistant, or a HR assistant, or resume assistant, interview assistant. I will create like that only virtual AI agents or AI bots in Google Dialogflow CX. Now how to start Dialogflow CX? Based on that beginner level to the advanced level. First, beginner level, we need to concentrating on agents. What is an agent? What is flow? What is intents? What is entities? Basic responses we are able to learn in the beginner level. Now coming to the intermediate level, what are the parameters? What is the importance of parameters? Where do we need configure parameters? After that, context. What is context? What is fulfillment? What is webhooks? What is routing? What is conditions? Based on that, we will learn on in the intermediate stage. Now coming to the another step forward, that is an advanced stage. In this advanced stage, what we want to learn, what we will learn, integrations with and APIs, and then testing and debugging, versioning and environments. In the environments, multiple environments we need to use for creating and testing and the debugging and then versioning for Dialogflow CX. After that, we will simply in expertise to creating an entire Dialogflow CX environment. Whatever you want to create a chatbots or voice bots like in analytics and insights, security and IAM perspective, and then best practices. We will learn everything from beginner to the expert level in the Dialogflow CX. It is huge demand in the market. If anyone want to learn Dialogflow CX for creating the voice bots as test bots in the Google Cloud, in vertexai, BigQuery, or some cloud foundry models, I will explain clearly in detail. In Azure also voice bots is also there. AWS is also Amazon Lex or Amazon Connect is also there. In these services, they have to provide creating the voice agents or voice bots to effectively communicate with your application to the end user. Like that only I will explain clearly in detail. If you like the content in this video, please subscribe, comment, share, and then like. Now I am going to diving to the core concepts. What are the core concepts are in the Dialogflow CX? In the Dialogflow CX uses the state machine model. It is a very very important role plays. What is state? What is machine? What is model? Suppose in state machine can able to stores previous state information along with current state information. Then afterwards it will move to the another state. It will always store everything information from historical data as well as present data, and based on that it will take decision to move or not to the next state. That is called state machine is very very important role plays in entire Dialogflow CX. Now what is this? Each conversation moves like that. Each conversation moves through here in the state machine model, flows along with pages. What is flow? What is pages? And then transitions. These are the things are very very important role plays in the state machine. I will explain clearly in detail what is flow, what is page, what is transitions, allowing precise control over dialogue paths. Now, key components. What is an agent? What is an agent? The overall chatbot project. The agent is the overall chatbot project. Like suppose if you are giving any bot name, that is called banking support project, healthcare support project, HR assistant project. Like that only if you are giving that agent. Agent here like a simply in agenticai point of view, agent is nothing but a large language models plus tools and then plus harness. Like that only we need to include these all three components together. We will create an agentic AI or agents. Now what is flow? Here the flows are the very very important role flows in the any entire voice agents creating logical modules for different topics. The flow, what is the flow means? Logical or business uh, modules for different topics like account into one flow, loan inquiry is one flow. Suppose if you want to create account information, the everything regarding providing information to the user or user is asking about accounts, the accounts purpose, it will creating the one flow. Suppose any one of the user or any of the customer asking about or inquiry about loan inquiry, we will create one flow for everything is mandatory. Everything is we have handled inside the loan inquiry bot. Now this is the flows. Now what is the pages? What is the importance of pages? Pages stands for states. Here pages stands for states within a flow. Flow inside the pages are there. That is called states within a flow. It represents a conversation steps. Pages is nothing but a conversational steps. Now suppose the user is asking ask for account number, show balance, like that context as well as user utterances provide to the bot. Then the bot will able to fetch information somewhere and then give this information to the customer. Like that only, this is the pages will help to flow as well as states within the flow representing conversation steps. Based on that, it will move from one step to the another step in the pages only. In the pages, what how it will move from one state to the another state, or one pages to in the flow, how it will move from the pages, I will explain clearly in detail. Now after that, in intents is the very very important. Intent is nothing but user providing context to the bot. Context is nothing but information. Information is nothing but a question. Question is nothing but a prompt. The user ask any question or anything to ask to bot, that is called context. Sometimes we will call it as a utterances. Now intents. Intents is nothing but a user goals or inputs. User provides some input to the bot. That information we will call it as an intent or context. Now simply the user asking check my balance. Now the bot will able to fetch the balance table, and then based on the, suppose something is required to connect with the balance table, the balance is not providing the simple play in front of him, it will fetch somewhere and then show to customer, that is called app books is coming to the picture. I will explain check balance as well as transfer money. Suppose I want to transfer money from my account to the another account. The bot will help to transfer that amount to that personal account to the his friend or mother, like that account only. That is called intents are the very very important role plays in Dialogflow CX. Not only Dialogflow CX, in every agents or a bots like voice bots or chat bots. In the chatbot is the different architecture. In the now I am discussing about voice bots only. Now parameters. What are the parameters? What is the importance of parameters? Parameters is nothing but a data extracted from user input. Suppose the data we have already provided. Suppose the user say hi, the bot is only responding hi or good morning or good day to you, like how can I help you today, like that to information we will pass. We have created inside that, that is called static information. Suppose in the static information the user, suppose every time we need to pass the same information, it will, he user is also sometimes it getting bored. Because of that reason we are providing the generic as well as dynamic messages. That information data extracted from user input. Parameters is nothing but based on the user context, user input, we need to extract from the user input. That data extract parameters is nothing but data extracted from user input. Suppose account number or amount. How to extract? How to extract information from the user input is user context or user utterances. That information is always stored in the parameters. Now I hope all of it clear. Now in that, what is an entities? Intent is clear, or entity parameters is clear. Now what is an entities? Entities is nothing but a data types per parameters. In the data extracted from the intent only. Now intent parameters, the type of data, it is in which type of data type for parameters, like number, date, or currency, or human, like date of birth, or policy, or profit loss gain, like that information it will capture from the parameters. Okay, entities. Now route transitions, how the route are moved from one state to the another state, how it will handle, how it will handle that state, how to handle the conversation. Based on that, the state move from one state to the another state. Route transitions are very very important role plays. Define how conversation moves from one state to the another state, otherwise between one page to the another page. Here page is nothing but one state. Now how to our conversation move from one page to the another page, we need to discuss inside the transition routes. Now from ask account, once he is ask account details everything, we need to get the information from the user, and then we need to provide the information to the uh, bot, send the information response to the user. Then after that he will ask any another question regarding other than the account. Now we need to move we need to everything stores that information that already previously information, everything we need to store somewhere at that time. Then afterwards we need to move in another, suppose show my balance, that is in another business requirement. Now it is show is nothing but a is another flow or another business statement, like state. Now we need to move from this state to in another state without losing any information, without uh, losing information. Like fulfillment, what is fulfillment? Backend logic or API calls. Fulfillment is nothing but a backend calls as well as logic API calls. Now here fulfillment, backend logic or API calls. API stands for application programming interface, like REST API calls. Why? Because we will always fetch the information from the database along with the SaaS based application, live applications. Then only we will use in JDBC connectors as well as REST API connectors. In that only APIs are very very important role plays. Fetch, balance from database. Fetch database from the fulfillment. It is like a we need to fetch information or balance from the database and then show to the customer. Now I hope clear. Now webhooks, it is in backend logic. Fulfillment is the backend logic or API calls. Webhooks, it is the very very important role plays in the webhooks. Now webhooks is nothing but a context external systems. We need to connect with external systems. Now SCRM or ERP or custom APIs. Now session parameters. Session parameters are also very very important. Store temporary data during conversation. Now what the conversation happens in the particular state or particular query, everything will store in the somewhere, that is called session parameters, like user ID and last transaction, account number. And now in the present conversation, we will need to store all previous conversation inside the session parameters. Now coming to the training phrases. Now we need to provide some training phrases to the bot. Then only the bot, the user asking any queries inside the phrases, it will give the response immediately. Otherwise, it will connect to the agent. Agent or another skill provider bot. Then only it will fetch the information and then show to the end user. Like that is called training phrases are the very very important. Simple user inputs for intent recognition. We need to simple user provides some of the this type of inputs. How the bot will respond this kind of to the user inputs. That is called training pages. Now, what is my balance? Suppose user is asking what is my balance. We need to send or fetch our information like this type of information. Suppose response bot replies your balance is 5,000. Like that information we need to spontaneously or immediately we need to give the response to the user. Then only effectively conversation happen between bot or bot to the human or bot to the bot or bot to the application or agent to agent or agent to application or application to the application. These are the core components. These are the very very important topics to create any voice agent or voice bot in any platform. That multidisciplinary platforms like Amazon, AWS, sorry, Google or Azure. What are the platforms, what are the applications we have worked in the your organizations, we will easily create these type of bots for your user requirements or organizational requirements. Now advanced level, how we what are the topics we need to learn. Now flow design, how to create a design. That design is nothing but a visually we need to create, like visual builder from for multi-turn conversation. Best practice like modularized flows for business functions. State management, understand how pages maintain context, learn entry or exit conditions and event handlers. It is also very very important to place event handlers are intents and entities. Create reusable entities. Intents and entities, create reusable entities like date, product, location. Use system entities like custom entities effectively. Now fulfillment and webhooks. Integrate with external APIs using JSON payloads. Here the JSON payloads is nothing but a Java script object notation. Handle dynamic response and backend logic. Based on the backend logic, it will capture from the dynamic, it will give the response to the dynamic response to the user. Now parameters and session variables. Store and reuse we need to store, and then whenever he wants ask same question, we need to uh, take time, and then church somewhere we need to provide same related type of questions asked in another time. We will already store that type of information. We need to send information immediately to the user. Like that only, store and reuse user data across flows. That is called parameters and then session variables. Simple, like how to session dot params dot account number. That time we need to capture. And then testing and debug. Use test console and interaction logs. Analyze conversation paths and fix misrouted intents. Versioning environments. Manage multiple versions, dev, staging, prod. Apply safe using environment configuration. And suppose integrations like connect Google Cloud Functions, Dialogflow Manager, telephony, contact center AI, and custom UIs. Analytics and monitoring. These are the topics I will cover everything. Simply best practices. Start with basics: agent, flows, pages, intents, and entities. Moving to logic, parameters, fulfillments, webhooks, and routing. Advanced to enterprise like versioning, analytics, integrations, security. Now practice. Build a simple project like banking assistant or e-commerce bot as well as medical assistant. Like that only, whatever you want to voice bots as well as a contextual chat bot we need to create. These are the steps, these are the components is required to creating anything inside the Dialogflow CX. Now I will show you in the Dialogflow CX how to create, or I will, this is the Dialogflow CX. Build a retail virtual agent. Now before you begin, you need to set up your environment in your Google Cloud Dialogflow CX environment. We need to create the project and then building and then enable the APIs. After that, we need to create the flows. What you learn here. Now, how to create a Dialogflow CX virtual agent with the Google Cloud. Learn how to create flows. Learn how to create entities. Learn how to create intents. And then learn how to create pages and transition pages with state handlers. Learn how to transition pages with intent routes. Learn how to transition pages with parameters and condition routes. Learn how to return conditional response with the system functions. Learn how to create fallbacks messages. Learn how to use the simulator. Learn how to create test cases and test coverage. These are the things we will learn from the Dialogflow CX. We need to create any virtual assistant, a voice bots. Now how to create flow, how to create page, how to create a where we need to configure parameters, intents, routes, state handlers, event handlers, webhooks, everything I will show in a practical demo in the next upcoming sessions. If you like this content or video, please subscribe, like, comment, and then share to your respectable or loved, beloved friends as well as relatives. Thank you. Signing off, Balakrishna.